If you own your own tanks or you're looking at getting into technical diving, you're going to need to pick up some kind of port plugs eventually. Those people who are doing trimix, where we've got really expensive gas fills, this can help save accidental gas loss. So I want to review the different kinds of port plugs and what they're used for. So we've got three different kinds of port plugs laid out here. The first would be open style, second closed style, and the third closed with a vent. Now, open style is what we usually see, like this guy right here, on yoke valves that we would use to protect the O-ring on the face of that yoke valve, or maybe even indicate whether a cylinder is full or empty. Having this on, meaning it's full. Having this off means it needs a fill. We'll see that a lot at resort dive centers, and that does protect that O-ring on the face some. However, contaminants can still get in through this, so it is open. If we open the valve, gas can still escape. So very similar DIN style. We've got a little hole here, but we've got this Delrin cap with threads and even an O-ring. So it would prevent some dust and contaminants getting in, but it doesn't have the benefit, neither of these have the benefit, of preserving gas. The closed and the closed with the vent style plugs prevent gas from escaping. When it comes to nitrox and definitely trimix diving, these become essentially a requirement. Valves do get bumped. We can develop slow leaks that we don't necessarily hear at the loud dive site. And then by the time we get home, we turn off the car, we hear that tank draining and we've lost a couple $100 worth of gas. Now, I said that these are closed style and this one has a vent. And what I mean by that is this O-ring seals against the face of the valve, and if we open the valve, it pressurizes this area, but no gas escapes. Closed with a vent works the same way, but it's got a little vent on it, so that way it's easy to take off if the cylinder does get pressurized and we don't need a wrench. Now, the benefit of the vent is that it's easier to take off and we don't need a wrench. The downside is it has an extra failure point, and if that vent was to break, it's just as useful as the open style, which is not useful at all. These are also way more expensive than a regular closed style, so you could buy a bunch of these and a wrench for the same price as one of these. So if we use the closed, we need to make sure that in our kit we've got a big wrench that we could take this off, as well as some spare O-rings, because if it does get pressurized, this O-ring tends to extrude and go bad. So again, we have the open style, which prevents dust and protects yoke valves. We've got closed, which is nice because gas cannot escape if it's all the way in, but we'll definitely need a wrench to get it off if we turn the valve on. And we have closed with a vent, which is great because we don't necessarily need that wrench. However, it is an extra failure point. It's important to understand the usefulness of different kinds of port plugs, and as you move into expensive gases, I mean, even nitrox isn't cheap, investing in these, if you've got your own cylinders, is definitely a smart move. So hopefully that helps out here, and thanks for watching.